At Dodger Stadium, game 2 of a very brief 2-game series between the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Dodgers trying to win their 12th in a row at home without a loss, and that would tie the Detroit Tigers of 1911. Our ceremonial first pitch tonight, we welcomed a multiple Emmy Award winner and LA native. Last month, he joined the Dodgers' local TV broadcast partner, KCAL 9, as Pat Harvey's co-anchor on the weekday editions of KCAL 9 News at 8 and 10, Rick Garcia. So welcome to the family, Rick, and made a good pitch from the mound to home plate. Meanwhile, we take a look for the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are really struggling. And probably one of the things that really bothers Bob Melvin as he stands at home plate exchanging lineup cards with Bob Melvin is Bob Schaefer of the Dodgers. But Melvin's club, the D-backs, lost a great opportunity because at the start of the season, 18 of their first 21 games were at home. But it turned out they're 2 games under 500 at home. They squandered that great chance. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, of course, are doing absolutely the best you can do at home. They are 11-0. So the umpires are here with Bill Miller as the plate umpire, Darrell Cousins, Angel Campos, and Brian Runge. And as Bob Melvin studies his lineup card, we can show it to you as the Dodgers take the field. It will be Augie Ojeda leading off at second base, Connor Jackson in left field, Chad Tracy will be at first base, and Mark Reynolds hits cleanup at third. A red-hot Justin Upton in right field, Miguel Montero behind the plate. Chris Young batting 7th in center field. Josh Wilson, who started the triple play last night, bats 8th at short, playing for Stephen Drew, and the pitcher is Max Scherzer. On the mound for the Dodgers, and what a story, it would be Big Jeff Weaver. Born in Northridge, lives in Simi Valley, 6'5", 200-pounder, and he'll be 33 in August. And for Weaver to come back to Dodger Stadium, of course, that opens up a memory bank. I mean, he attended Game 2 of the 1988 World Series at Dodger Stadium. He was 12 years old, and he saw the Dodgers beat the Oakland A's 6-0. And as Jeff said, I attended a lot of Dodger games. Interestingly enough, he was not drafted out of high school. He had no college offers, so he went to Fresno State as a walk-on, and he was a pitcher and a DH and was a big man on campus and eventually signed with the Detroit Tigers. He bounced around. He was with the Tigers, then he spent a couple of years with the Dodgers. In his time with the Dodgers, he wound up winning 30 and losing 34. He moved on to the Angels, the Cardinals, the Mariners. Then he dropped down into the minor leagues and bounced back, having had a very impressive spring training. So Weaver, the first pitcher born in Los Angeles to start for the Dodgers since Kevin Gross of Downey started way back in 1991. Weaver went to Simi Valley High School, and he's ready to go now against a Los Angeles boy, Augie Ojeda. Augie Ojeda, a switch hitter, will check in batting left-handed. Born in Los Angeles and makes his home in Southgate. Went to school, however, at the University of Tennessee. 2 years ago, when Orlando Hudson was hurt, Augie Ojeda filled the gap, hit .341 in the final 14 games, and then in the postseason play against the Cubs, hit .444. So he'll try to light a fire now on the Arizona ball club that's really struggling offensively, and he takes the strike. The D-backs are last in the National League in hitting with a .227 batting average, and of course they walk into a dreadful place of late for visiting teams. Strike one pitch on the way to Ojeda. Augie swings, drives it to right. Ethier started the wrong way, and he'll go back and have to play it off the wall. Ojeda will stop at second base. This is a very tough time at 7:13. The lights do not really take effect. I think Ethier either lost the ball coming off Ojeda's bat, but he started to go one way, tried to correct, and it was over his head, bouncing up against the little window out there in right field. So nightmare time for an outfielder in the first inning. Ojeda with the long double to right, and the batter now will be Connor Jackson. And Connor's another local boy raised in the Valley. Dodger pitching has held opponents to a 147 batting average with runners in scoring position. 5 for 34. So here's another challenge now for Arizona. Weaver looks back at Ojeda. Jeff ready and delivers and skips it in there for a strike. 0-1. The Dodgers are the other way around with runners in scoring position. They're hitting .371. So we'll see what Connor Jackson does. He has 1 home run, 13 RBIs, but hitting only .205. Weaver leaning in to get a sign, now straightens up, looks back at Ojeda, comes sidearm with a fastball low. One thing that Jeff does is change his arm angle. He'll go anywhere from almost over the top to 3/4 to sidearm, especially with a right-hand batter. 1-1 the count. Jeff out of his stretch, set at the belt, looks back at Ojeda. Now the big right-hander comes with a fastball down and away, and he has fallen behind. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jeff Weaver entered this year with a career record of 93 wins and 114 losses. So the veteran straightens up. Ojeda at second with the double, and the 2-1 pitch coming up. Connor Jackson holds off, and the pitch is in for a strike, and the count 2-2. Connor knows the book on Weaver. Basically a sinking fastball, pretty good slider. He has a cutter to left-hand batters and a changeup. And of course everybody knows a variety of arm angles. So Jeff straightens up. Another look back at second base. 2-2 pitch. He comes by way of third and strikes out. Jackson swinging. So Connor Jackson strikes out as Weaver came around the corner to get him. 1 away, and the batter will be Tracy. Here are the Dodgers with the leather. Loney, Hudson for Colin Blake, Ramirez, Campanifier, Weaver, and Martin the battery. Chad Tracy checking in, hitting .236, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Chad, the first baseman, left-hand batter. Last night, Connor Jackson and Tony Clark played first base. Weaver deals, fastball, little low, ball 1, and Russell Martin going out to talk to him. So Chad Tracy, who has socked, he's out of Charlotte, North Carolina, has had a bad knee that has slowed him down. Back in '06, he had 20 home runs. The year before that, 27. But since then, he's really struggled physically. Last year, he had 8 home runs, and this year he has 2. So Chad waiting, left-hand batter, 29 years old at the end of August. Weaver out of his stretch, a look back at Ojeda, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. And Jeff works it a little low. 2 balls and no strikes. So Weaver gives up the double to Ojeda, strikes out Jackson. Dodgers have been red hot. They have a 5-game winning streak, and they have really given Arizona a bad time. They've won 10 of the last 12 and 6 in a row against Arizona. Weaver's next pitch is fouled away off to the left, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. And to the left-hand hitter, Weaver throws the changeup. So Augie Ojeda, a leadoff double. Chad Tracy trying to pick him up. Mark Reynolds on deck. Jeff Weaver looks into Martin to get a sign. Long look in. Now Jeff is ready. And the 2-1 pitch coming up. Weaver delivers on the hands, and it's foul back out of play. And the count 2-2. For the D-backs trying to figure out where their offense has gone. They have lost 2 in a row. On this trip, they've lost 3 out of 5, and it's an 8-game road trip. And the Dodgers have beaten them 3 out of 4 so far this year. So Tracy waiting on a 2-2 pitch. Out of his stretch goes Weaver, back inside, almost hit him. Ball 3. 3-2 the count. Jeff Weaver, in looking at his work against the D-backs, Tracy is 9 for 20 with a home run and 4 RBIs against him. Tony Clark not playing, and he has worn Weaver out. Big Tony 7 for 11 with 2 home runs, but he's not in the lineup. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Tracy. Last couple of years, that has been a trademark of Arizona, one they are very unhappy about. They strike out a lot. So as Reynolds comes up, and he's a strikeout hitter with 28 strikeouts. For Chad Tracy, as he goes down swinging, he hadn't played much. Connor Jackson has struck out 14 times. Chris Young, the center fielder, has struck out 29 times. So here is Reynolds, homered last night, hitting .267. He has 7 home runs, 14 runs batted in. He hit a solo home run in the 6th inning last evening, and Weaver delivers side-on fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. For Reynolds, he has never faced Weaver before, though I'm sure he's talked to a lot of the D-back hitters. Mark waiting, no balls and 1 strike. 25 years old. He'll be 26 in August out of Pikeville, Kentucky, and he waves at 1, and the count 0-2. Of course, last year was a nightmare for Mark Reynolds. Sure, he hit 28 home runs, and sure, he had 97 runs batted in, but he struck out 204 times. 0-2 the count. Weaver hides the ball back of his right hip, now straightens up. Reynolds waiting, and here comes Jeff with a pitch up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No score, we're just starting. Talking about Reynolds striking out, we knew way back 2 years ago that he was in trouble. He tied the all-time record for strikeouts in consecutive plate appearances by a non-pitcher. He struck out 9 straight times. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up to Mark Reynolds. Weaver ready, comes by way of third, and there's a fly ball. Late start by Ethier. Going way out is Orlando to make a great catch in right field. So Andre Ethier's having a lot of trouble in right field. Got the wrong jump on Ojeda and had no jump on that fly ball, and Hudson saved his bacon going way out into right field. And at the end of half an inning, no score. A tough time of the late afternoon, early evening, and the Dodgers get away with it. Here's the Dodger lineup now for Call, Hudson, and Ramirez, Ethier, Loney, and Martin, Kemp, Blake, and Weaver in that order. And on the mound, right-hander Max Scherzer, out of Missouri, born in St. Louis and lives in Chesterfield. He went to the University of Missouri, and the young right-hander deals fastball strike, and the count 0-1. Scherzer was a #1 pick 3 years ago by the Diamondbacks. His strike one pitch misses, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. Per call, batting .257 with a home run and 6 RBIs. Interesting that he would be pitching today. Here's the 1-1 pitch way outside. When Scherzer signed a contract a minute before midnight with Arizona, the contract was worth over $4 million. 2-1 pitch is way outside, so that when he went to the Mobile Bay Bears, they immediately remembered the millions and they called him Maximilian. Here's the 3-1 pitch on the way, and Scherzer deals a strike. Well, if you know anything about history, Maximilian was the Emperor of Mexico, and here he is pitching on Cinco de Mayo, the big event that occurred in the city of Puebla. 3-2 pitch is foul back. May the 5th, 1862, the Mexican army, a real underdog, defeated the French in the city of Puebla, and consequently Cinco de Mayo is always remembered. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Scherzer ready and delivers. Strike 3 called at the knees, and down goes for call. 1 away. Let's take a look at the D-backs behind Scherzer tonight. And they have Tracy and Ojeda, Wilson and Reynolds, Jackson, Young and Upton, and the battery of Scherzer and Montero. So with 1 out, Orlando Hudson, who made that marvelous catch on a fly ball to right field, even though he's the second baseman, when Andre Ethier had troubles. And of course, we've been looking at outfielders having troubles early in the first inning for years, and it's no accident. It occurs all the time. Little fly ball down the left field line. It's going to land. Kickoff into foul ground. Orlando is into second base, standing with a fly ball double. And Manny Ramirez will be coming up. So Hudson, the former D-back, makes a great defensive play to prevent the D-backs from scoring, and now he opens up with a 1-out double. So with Hudson at second base, Manny Ramirez against the National League, and Bob Melvin, I'm sure, has looked it up. Since August 1 of last year, Manny has hit .385. He is hitting .360 for the year. So Ramirez has been unbelievable. Manny waiting, and the first pitch way inside, ball 1. How have the Dodgers profited? Well, since Manny Ramirez joined the Dodgers, their record at home is 29-7, better than 4-1. So here he is with Hudson at second, 1 out, first inning, no score. Out of his stretch goes Scherzer. Max deals, and the pitch is low, ball 2. You wonder about certainly a Germanic name like Scherzer and the first name Max. They go together. Just to finish, Maximilian, the Emperor of Mexico, was born in Austria. Here's the 2-0 pitch coming up to Manny Ramirez, and it's in the dirt. Nice save by Montero. 3 balls and no strike. You know, when you look at Manny followed by Ethier, if you want to compare the outfield of the Dodgers in Arizona, it is really something. Arizona's outfield is hitting .200. They're going to walk Manny intentionally, and he'll go to first to bring up Andre Ethier. Anyway, the Arizona outfielders are hitting .200. The Dodger outfield, .334. The on-base percentage for Arizona, .275. For the Dodgers, .443. Slugging percentage, Arizona, .351. That's really low. For the Dodgers, number 1, .584. And in the Arizona outfield, they have only 32 RBIs. The Dodgers have 63. So a huge difference between the two teams in the outfield. Scherzer ready. Here he comes. Fastball to Ethier, in for a strike. Andre hitting .316 as Scherzer works on him. Ethier is also, like the team, very much of a successful home player. Scherzer straightens up, checks the runners. Now the strike one pitch on the way. Max instead looks back at second. Ethier at home at Dodger Stadium is hitting .400. On the road, he's hitting .259. At home, his slugging percentage is out of sight, .850. Fastball, line drive, base hit into right center. Here comes Hudson to score. Manny is on his way to third, and he will make it. Ethier, meanwhile, rounding first and holding. So the Dodgers are on the board again in the first inning. Andre Ethier singles in the run. And for Ethier, picking up another clutch run batted in, he has 26. The Hudson doubles. Ethier picks him up. Manny goes all the way to third. Dodgers in business, and the batter will be James Loney. So James Loney with first and third, one out. Dodgers leading 1-0. Trying to get a big jump on Max Scherzer. Scherzer, in his mind, no doubt saying, I just can't allow many runs because my team doesn't score any runs for me. Loney hitting .281, 17 runs batted in, hits a little ground ball to the right side. The only play is to first. Manny scores, Ethier to second, and just like that, the Dodgers lead 2-0. So Loney picks up a run batted in and moves Ethier along to second, and the batter will be Russell Martin. Here's the thing about Max Scherzer. He has gone 5 or more innings with 3 or less runs in 8 of his 11 starts in his career. He's gone 5 or more innings with 2 runs or less, 5 of his 11 starts, and he has 2 or less runs of support in 10 of his 11 starts. So he has really been unlucky. And the pitch now to Martin in the dirt. Nice save by Montero. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Martin, whether he thinks about it or not, is celebrating an anniversary tonight. 3 years ago, on this date, Cinco de Mayo, Russell Martin had just been called up, took over behind the plate for the injured Deona Navarro, the catcher. Russell went 2 for 4. He had a double and 2 RBIs. The Dodgers won 15 of the first 18 games he played in, and Deona Navarro never caught for the Dodgers again. Martin takes a strike and a 1 ball 1 strike count. Dodgers 2, D-backs nothing, first inning. Scherzer is 0-6 in his career. He has yet to win a game. Max straightens up, high set around the collarbone, and the pitch to Martin is taken for a strike. 1-2. Bill Miller, the plate umpire, and he has a local touch to him. He received a BA in history from UCLA. Umpired high school baseball in inner city games as part of the city unit. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, hit down the right field line, slicing foul, and will drop back in the seats. So Russell Martin coming back. One other note about Bill Miller, he was behind the plate when Kerry Wood, then the hard throwing right-hander for the Chicago Cubs, struck out 20. 1-2 the count. Dodgers lead 2-0 first inning, and Martin waiting with Matt Kemp on deck. Scherzer out of a stretch, and the 1-2 pitch is just low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scherzer's well put together. He's 6'3", 215-pounder. He'll be 25 the end of July. And you know what? He has heterochromia. Oh, you didn't know what heterochromia was? Well, we didn't know it either. Remember the song that says something about they'll make your brown eyes blue or your blue eyes brown? Well, heterochromia, his right eye is blue and Max's left eye is brown. 3-2 the count to Russell Martin. Out of a stretch goes Scherzer, and then he backs off the rubber. Take a look at those eyes, and I guess you can tell the difference, huh? Right eye looks lighter than the left, and it's blue compared to brown. Meanwhile, Martin shatters his bat. Little ground ball to Josh Wilson, who bounces his throw. It gets away from Tracy. Here comes Ethier to score, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. So a shattered bat and then a shattered heart. The rookie shortstop, Josh Wilson, throwing it away in his haste. Though Martin will hold at first, and the Dodgers really lucky in the inning, and they'll take it. First, a pop fly by Hudson that landed inside the left field foul line for the double. They walk Ramirez trying to dodge a bullet, only to have Ethier single to drive in the run. Loney's ground ball got another run, and now the broken bat and the third run of the inning. It looks like it will be error 6 charged to Wilson, with Ethier coming all the way around. So 3-0 Dodgers, 2 out first inning. Martin at first, and here is Matt Kemp hitting .298. Scherzer throws over to first. Kemp with 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. So boy, it is amazing, but everything going the Dodgers way. Kemp waiting. There goes Martin. The pitch is a strike. The throw is right into the runner. Kicks off into shortstop. Wilson was backing up, so Russell can go all the way to third. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. With a right-hand hitter up and Russell going, Ojeda covered. The throw was right about at Russell's head as he was going into the bag. Very dangerous for a lot of ways. Then the ball squirted between the legs of Ojeda. Wilson was backing up. He was on the grass in center, and so Martin makes his second belly whop, and he's now at third. And the pitch to Kemp is low. So it'll be a stolen base for Russell Martin and an error charged to Montero. And for Bob Melvin, what a start. Scherzer delivers a little ground ball to Ojeda. Augie has it, makes his play, and the Dodgers settle for 3. 3 runs, 2 hits. There were 2 D-back errors. And at the end of an inning, Dodgers 3, D-backs nothing. Dodgers are 11-0 at home. The runs scored 78 for the Dodgers, 50 more than the opposition. Base hits, the Dodgers with 126 and the opposition 67. And then, of course, the shocking differential, team batting average. The Dodgers 332 and the opposition 190. So in the second inning we go, and for Max Scherzer, a horrible experience in the first inning. Dodgers lead 3-0. Now it'll be Justin Upton, Miguel Montero, and Chris Young. Justin Upton, 22 years old come the end of August, a remarkable young ball player, and he takes a strike, 0-1. Upton riding an 11-game hitting streak. During the streak, he has batted .378, and he's picked up 11 RBIs to go along with the 11-game hitting streak. Overall, hitting .274. Weaver comes by way of third and misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Upton is out of Norfolk, Virginia, lives in Chesapeake, Virginia, and went to Great Bridge High School. He was a #1 pick. And the Upton brothers are the talk of baseball. Weaver's next pitch low and away. Justin's brother BJ was the 2nd pick in the 2002 draft. So the Upton brothers are the highest drafted brothers in baseball history. BJ older than Justin. The 2-1 pitch taken for a strike, and the count 2-2. Justin Upton, followed by Miguel Montero and then Chris Young. Out of a stretch goes Weaver, leading 3-0, second inning. Comes by way of third, and a breaking ball is promptly slapped into center field. So that's one of the things when you change the arm angle, so we've been told, that coming by way of third, he was trying to throw a breaking ball down and away, I'm sure, to the right-hand hitter, and nothing really happened with it. It just got right out over the plate. Upton didn't have to hit it hard. He just had to get the wood on it and singles to center. So Upton now has hit safely in 12 straight, and the batter is Miguel Montero. And of late, Montero has been hitting pretty well. Hitting left-handed, Weaver over the top with a fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Back in early April, Montero was hitting less than 100. He was hitting .083. Since the 20th of April right to tonight, he's been hitting .333. So he's really perked up. So Upton at first, nobody out. 0-1 the count to Montero, with the Dodgers leading 3-0. Weaver turns, throws to first. Upton back on the bag. Upton 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Miguel Montero spelling Chris Snyder, who does the bulk of the work behind the plate. Montero from Caracas in Venezuela, and the strike one pitch is taken on the inside corner, 0-2. 2 years ago, when things were going so well for Arizona, he was a marvelous pinch hitter. He had 3 pinch hit home runs. He had 7 pinch hit RBIs, and coming off the bench, he hit .350. Upton at first, held on by Loney. 3-0 Dodgers. Weaver delivers, and it's up around the letters, swung on and missed. So that is the 3rd strikeout for Jeff Weaver, as the Diamondbacks are haunted by strikeouts. And now here is Chris Young talking about strikeouts. The center fielder is really a puzzle. He has been superbly gifted, but he has struck out 29 times, and he's hitting just .174. Since the 6th inning of a game on the 28th of April against Chicago, he is 0 for 21. Weaver ready and delivers, breaking ball strike, and the count 0-1. Amazing how things would turn off for a gifted center fielder. So Young is struggling, and most of them do sometime. Young out of Houston, 25. He'll be 26 in September. And the strike one pitch off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers 3, Diamondbacks nothing. We're in the top of the 2nd inning with 1 out. Weaver plants the right foot, looks in to get a sign. And Young waits. Weaver straightens up, set at the belt, comes by way of third, fastball foul back, and the count 1-2. Jeff hits 91 on the gun. When Chris Young was a rookie, I mean, he had startling ability. He was amazing. He had 30 home runs. He stole 27 bases. Second rookie in Major League history to do that. The other one, Nomar Garciaparra. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball got him looking, and I think he was expecting the arm angle to come by way of third, and Weaver came right over the top to get him. 30 times now he has struck out as the pitch catches the outside corner. 4 strikeouts for Weaver, and the batter will be Josh Wilson. Wilson, the youngster from Pittsburgh. Not so young when you realize he's 28 years old. He's been around. He takes a strike, 0-1. Called up from Reno when Stephen Drew went down. 10 years ago, Wilson was signed by the Marlins, number 3 pick at 11 in high school. So off the bag at first is Upton with 2 out, 3-0 Dodgers, second inning. Weaver at the belt. Jeff deals and he works it away. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's 92 on the gun with the fastball that time. Jeff straightens up again, looks over at Upton, and the 1-1 pitch is just offside, and a 2-ball 1 strike count. Josh Wilson, the hitter, among other things, he grew up being smartly coached because his father is the head baseball coach for Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. 6'1", 180. Now the 2-1 pitch. Weaver delivers, breaking ball, swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. So nice movement on that pitch. 2-2. For Wilson, he spent a long time in the minors, finally came up after being down there about 7 years to play briefly for the Marlins. Then he played for the Nationals, and they'll be in here tomorrow night. Then after the Nationals, he went to the Devil Rays, back down into the minors, and surfaced now because Stephen Drew is on the DL. So Joshua made a fine backhand stab of the line drive last night off the bat of Casey Blake, turned it into a triple play. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up. Weaver ready, delivers down and dirty, rolls off to the right, but not far enough for Upton to advance. And you don't expect Upton to do any running, any gambling when the number 8 hitter at the plate, the pitcher on deck, and you're down 3-0. So Wilson back up. Weaver with 4 strikeouts has allowed 2 hits and no runs. They're not holding Upton, and the 3-2 pitch will be swung on and popped up. Foul ground off third. Blake right at the railing and backhands it for the out. So Wilson fouls out. Weaver is on a pitch count. We understand 75 pitches. The end of an inning and a half. 3-0 Dodgers. Casey Blake leading off, takes ball one. Looking at a cute little boy in mom's lap. She's wearing a Dodger shirt, and the little baby is wearing a shirt that says property of the Dodgers. As Blake swings and misses, and we have a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Blake, Weaver, and Furcall the way the Dodgers stack up here in the bottom of the second, leading 3-0. Weaver waiting as Casey Blake swings and misses. 1-2 the count to Casey, who lined into that triple play last night. Struggling a little bit, 1 for 10 in his last 4 games, and swings and comes up empty and strikes out. So that would be the second strikeout for Max Scherzer. Say, you know, you can celebrate with members of the '59 championship team Thursday. Dodgers honor the 50th anniversary of their first World Series title in Los Angeles. And the first 30,000 fans in attendance receive a 1959 retro radio, compliments of 790 KABC. Buy tickets now at Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS today. Weaver swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. Dodgers scored 3 in the first inning. With 1 out, Orlando Hudson dropped a little fly ball double into left field. Weaver swings and misses. They pitched to Manny for a little while and then put him on. Ethier singled home Hudson. Loney's ground ball scored Ramirez. Martin's broken bat ground ball was thrown away by Wilson. And as Weaver walks back to the dugout striking out, not so bad. He's leading 3-0. 3 strikeouts now for Max Scherzer. And Rafael Furcall, who struck out in the first inning, coming up. Dodgers 3 runs, 2 hits. The D-backs no runs, 2 hits. Weaver has struck out 4, and Scherzer has now struck out 3. Rafael, who has reached by hit, walk somewhere one way or another in 24 games, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Dodgers trying to do a lot of things tonight. I'm sure it's no surprise to you. They're trying to win their 12th in a row at home. Furcall fouls it away. That ties the old Detroit Tiger 1911 mark of winning 12 straight at home. Dodgers trying to beat the league 6 in a row. Strike 2 pitch is low. Dodgers really trying to wear out the Diamondbacks. They've already beaten them 6 straight, and they've won 10 out of 12. 1-2 the count to Rafael Furcall, and he takes low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rafael asking for time, fussing with his batting gloves for the moment. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scherzer works quickly, and the 2-2 pitch way inside. Furcall had a jackknife to get out of the way of it. 3-2 the count. The Max runs one way inside. Now 3-2 to Rafael. Into the windup goes Scherzer, back with a fastball, whack to left center, but Chris Young is there to grab it. So the Dodgers go quietly in the second inning. And at the end of 2, Dodgers 3, D-backs nothing. 0-0 as we go to the third inning. Jeff Weaver making his first start in a while, and he'll be working against his opposition, Max Scherzer, then Augie Ojeda, and Connor Jackson. Last start for Jeff Weaver in September of 07 against Texas. Right-hander ready and delivers, gets it in there for a strike. He did work 4 innings of scoreless relief Thursday, and Joe Torre said before game that he'd be on a 75 pitch count. Well, he made 35 in the first 2 innings. Strike 1 pitch off speed, stayed up and inside, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. So Weaver changing off the breaking ball and missed with it. 1-1. Jeff straightens up. Scherzer, right-hand batter. Max swings, hits one between the legs of Weaver and out into center field. So Scherzer, a ground ball single. He is 2 for 7 and trying to lead the D-backs back, and he got it right in the wicket, right between the legs of Weaver. So Scherzer comes up with hit number 3 against Jeff, and the batter now is Augie Ojeda. Ojeda hit a fly ball to right field when the sky was bright blue. The lights were not taking any effect at all, and Ethier appeared startled. I think he lost it, tried to recover, and the ball bounced in front of the window of the bullpen. This time a line drive in front of Ethier for the base hit. Scherzer waited and just does get to second base as Andre got it back in a hurry. So Augie Ojeda is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Scherzer watching that line drive, and when it finally landed, then he had to hurry up to beat the throw. So 2 on, nobody out, and Connor Jackson, Chad Tracy, and Mark Reynolds coming up in that order. Connor Jackson struck out in the first inning. He was 1 for 4 last night with a double. On the road trip, just 4 for 19. Connor has had a great deal of success with runners in scoring position, hitting .412. So he has an opportunity now. The D-backs are already 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And Connor takes off the plate. Ball 1. 1-0. Connor Jackson struggling, however, against right-hand pitching. Of course, come to think of it, he's struggling against both, hitting only .202. 179 against left, about .215 against right. So Scherzer at second, Ojeda at first, nobody out, and the pitch to Connor is line foul down the right field line out of play. So Connor Jackson checking in. Although he was born in Texas, he grew up in the San Fernando Valley, went to college at the University of California. He's some sock. He hits in double-figure home runs, 15 or 12. He has 1 so far. Weaver delivers. Fastball hit down to Percall. He goes to Hudson. He goes in the dirt, and Loney can't hold it. So the Dodgers miss the double play. It is only a force play that gets Ojeda off the bases. And then the low throw by Orlando Hudson, and Loney unable to stay with it. Hudson had plenty of time and plenty of room. He just happened to bounce it, and Loney couldn't take it. So first and third instead of a runner at third with 2 out. And with 1 out, the batter is Chad Tracy, and the redhead struck out in the first inning. So Loney, who digs most of them out, but not that time. Last year, for quite a while, when Tracy had the opportunity, he was tough with runners in scoring position, and he takes a strike. 0-1. Last year he had 8 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Chad out of Charlotte, North Carolina. First and third, 1 out, 3-0 Dodgers, top of the third. Left hand hitting Tracy, followed by the right hand hitting Reynolds. Weaver set over the top, and it's whacked down the right field line, foul into the lower deck. So Jeff, who changes that arm angle and working against a left-hander, so the sidearm isn't going to work very much, and he came right over the top, and Tracy pulled it too much. On the note, on the board, Chad Tracy 5 years ago had an RBI single that broke Eric Gagne's record of 84 consecutive saves. Here's the strike 2 pitch, up and in, again coming over the top. 1-2 the count to Chad Tracy. In the inning, Scherzer single between Weaver's legs. Ojeda single to right. Jackson hits a double play ball to Furcal, but the Dodgers get only one. There's a beach ball loose in left field. Timeout for the moment. So now here's Tracy trying to make the most of it with Connor Jackson at first, Scherzer at third, and 1 out. Tracy backs out for the moment, and Weaver staring in, waiting for Martin to settle into a crouch. 1-2 the count. Weaver straightens up, checks his runners, and the 1-2 pitch, and that's just inside at the letters, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. So if indeed Joe Torre sticks to that 75 pitch count, we'll keep an eye on that. He had 35 pitches in the first 2 innings. He's made 11 so far, so he has now made 46 pitches and a 2-ball 2-strike count to Tracy. Here comes Weaver, and that's lifted back a shortstop. Furcal goes out and calls and waits and makes the catch, and the runners hold at first and third. So Tracy pops it up, and the drought continues. A frustrating time for Bob Melvin. 5th year as the manager of the D-backs, and of course manager of the year 2 years ago. But there's not much the manager can do but stand and watch while his club just spinning their wheels. Now Mark Reynolds. Reynolds hit a fly ball to shallow right. Andre Ethier had no jump at all. The sky was still very bright. Tough to get a jump. And so Orlando Hudson made an over-the-shoulder sprawling catch in right field. I don't mean short right field. I mean in right field. And the pitch is taken in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Good changeup. So Reynolds 0 for 1 with runners at first and third, and of course with his power, he has 7 home runs. He truly represents the possible tying run. Weaver bends at the waist, leans in, now straightens up. Strike 1 pitch to Mark Reynolds, and that's high all the way to the backstop. Coming in to score easily is Scherzer. Down to second on the wild pitch goes Jackson, and the D-backs find a way to get on the board a wild pitch. So of course when you go back to the ground ball by Jackson, that should have been a double play, and Tracy's pop fly to Furcal should have been the last out. But as the kids would say, woulda, coulda, shoulda, and the D-backs have a run. A wild pitch high over the mitt of the outstretched Martin all the way to the backstop. So the D-backs get on the board. Dodgers lead 3-1. And with 2 out, here is Reynolds working on a 1-1 count. Weaver set, ready, delivers, swung on and missed. 1-2 the count to Mark. Reynolds with 28 strikeouts. Chris Young has struck out 30 times. Connor Jackson standing at second base. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Weaver looking back. Jeff ready. Here he comes to Reynolds in at the knuckles. Almost nicked him. And a 2-ball 2-strike count. Hitting back of Reynolds is the one hot hitter in the Arizona lineup, and that would be Justin Upton. So Weaver really wants to get out of the inning against Reynolds. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at second, and the pitch is swung on and missed. And down go the D-backs again. They do get a run, When the Dodgers mess up a double play and a wild pitch, it's 3-1 Dodgers. Backs 3-1. Jeff Weaver has now made 52 pitches on the way to his 75, if that indeed holds up. Orlando Hudson, Manny Ramirez, and Andre Ethier. And Hudson takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Hudson, a fly ball double just inside the left field foul line in the first inning, and came home on a single by Andre Ethier. Lays off a pitch up, and the count 1-1. Hudson, with his fly ball double, has hit safely in 7 straight. Hitting .342. Swings, hits a hopper to short. Wilson is up with it and throws him out. 1 away. Now, Manny Ramirez coming up.
Number 99, Manny Ramirez.
Manny hitting .509 at home and .360 for the year. And again, that staggering number. Since Manny Ramirez joined the Dodgers, their record at home 29-7. Scherzer ready and deals fastball down and away. Ball 1. He hits 97 on our gun. Wow. So Max let it all come out on that pitch. The 1-0 pitch on the way is on the inside corner, and the count 1-1. And Manny seems a little unhappy with Bill Miller. That's the first time I've seen Manny grumble that much. So obvious that he disagreed with the call. 1-1. Scherzer back, fastball low, ball 2, 2-1 the count. So here's the first pitch to Manny, and he thinks it might have been low. Bill Miller says it got the knees. The next pitch is strike. 2-2. If I read Manny's lips on that pitch, he turned to Miller and said, "What's going on here?" 2-2. Look out. So Scherzer throwing hard right at Manny's kneecaps, and they count 3-2. Well, remember last night, Doug Davis went 3-2, and the next fastball was in the bleachers in left center. 3-2 pitch to Manny is swung on, a ground ball, fair ball, fielded at third by Reynolds, who throws him out. The Manny taps out, 2 down, and the batter will be Andre Ethier. You know, you can purchase any field level ticket this Thursday or Saturday, pay $45, and enjoy some of the best seats at Dodger Stadium. Save up to 65%. Watch the Dodgers battle the Nationals or Giants. So visit Dodgers.com/eSavers. Enter the promo code Russell55. And here is Andre Ethier. Looks at a strike. 0-1. Ethier a sharp single to right to drive in Hudson in the first inning. Andre 6 home runs, 26 runs batted in, and hitting .323. Dodgers 3, D-backs 1. We're in the bottom of the third with 2 out. Max Scherzer comes back and misses low. Ball 2, 2-1 the count. Now the 2-1 pitch coming up, and Andre looks. It's way off the plate. Ball 3, 3-1. The Nationals will be in here for the next 2 nights. 3-1 pitch coming up, and Andre takes way outside. Ball 4. Tomorrow night it'll be Clayton Kershaw and Daniel Cabrera. The following night it'll be Randy Wolf and Jordan Zimmerman. And then on the weekend the Giants come in, and the first game Friday night will pit Chad Billingsley and Barry Zito. Second walk given up as Billingsley makes his own mental notes watching this one. He'll have a couple of days off before he goes back to the rubber with that perfect 5-0 mark. And the pitch to Loney is swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1. Loney hitting .278. He has 18 runs batted in. For James, playing in his 28th game for the Dodgers, it is their 30th. Remember last year he only missed 1 game. The pitch to Loney is pulled on the ground into the hole, smothered by Ojeda, who gets up and throws him out. Nice play by Augie for the Dodgers that leave Ethier, and at the end of 3, it's the Dodgers 3 and the D-backs 1. Nine is brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that inspire at every turn. And by Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. We go to the 4th inning. The Dodgers leading the D-backs 3-1. In the battle of pitches, Weaver has made 52. Scherzer has made 54. Dodgers 3 runs, 2 hits. D-backs 1 run, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Justin Upton singled in the 2nd inning. He has hit safely in 12 straight. That's a strike. 0-1. They have raved about Upton's ability ever since he first came. And in the playoffs 2 years ago, hit .327. A bunt. Good effort. And Weaver shovels it to Loney in time. Nice play. Jeff Weaver and James Loney Upton, furious, slings his helmet into the dugout. A fine play. Weaver just got it to Loney, who just did get his hand out of the way. You always remember Cliff Floyd shattering his wrist on a play with Randy Hundley reaching in for the throw like James did. The one good thing for Loney, he went with the runner, and he just did get that glove and hand out of the way. He could have been hurt. So a great effort by the Dodgers, one away on the bunt. And the batter is Miguel Montero. Montero struck out in the second inning. Montero has a little hitting streak. He's hit safely in 5. And promptly whacks it down the right field line. It hits the track, bounces up into the seats for a ground rule double. Miguel Montero is hit in 6 straight as he doubles to right. That would be hit number 5 for the D-backs. And the slumping Chris Young coming up. Fans throw the ball back onto the field. Young struck out in the second inning. Jeff Weaver has struck out 5. Chris hitting just 172. Ground ball with the runner moving to third. For Call makes the hurry throw in time. Boy, that is a big league play. Moving over is Montero. You're right down, yeah, ground ball to the shortstop, but it wasn't anything quite like that. And Chris Young runs exceptionally well. For Call going to his right, then has to charge, throw on one leg because the other's off the ground, and he still has enough to beat a very speedy runner. Nice play. So 2 out, Montero at third, Wilson the batter, and of course Weaver's already had 1 wild pitch, though he's had 2 already this year. 1 ball and no strikes to Josh Wilson. On deck, Max Scherzer, who singled to center. So the boy from Pittsburgh, Jay Wilson. You would automatically think of the shortstop of the Pirates, Jack Wilson, but this is Josh. Ball 2. 3 runs on 2 hits for the Dodgers. D-backs committed 2 errors in the first inning. Wilson committing 1 of them. And the D-backs 1 run on 5 hits. Now 3-0 with the pitcher coming up next, although they hate to lose the number 8 hitter, especially with 2 out. So Scherzer waits. 3-0 to Wilson. And off the plate. So Wilson draws the walk. That will be the first walk. Rick Honeycutt watching Weaver work. He's in his 4th inning, and his pitch count is now made 60 pitches and heaves a big sigh. Scherzer singled right between Jeff's legs. Ground ball into center field. 2 out, runners at first and third. Breaking ball, 0-1. Scherzer's base hit in the 3rd inning. He is 2 for 7. The other hit was a double. Foul back, out of play, 0-2. Don't forget the Nationals here tomorrow night and Thursday night. Kershaw and Cabrera and Wolf and Zimmerman. And then the Giants. Billingsley and Zito will open it up Friday night. 0-2 the count to Scherzer. Down and away. Nice backhanded effort by Russell. Weaver went 4 innings his last time out in relief. trying to finish off the fourth inning tonight as a starter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. By way of third and a flare. Great play by Orlando Hudson. His second of the night. The O-Dog has taken a couple of bites out of his old club. In right field in the first inning, and that beauty here in the fourth. And it's still 3-1 Dodgers. To you by your Southern California Ford dealers and the new Ford Advantage plan. And by Bud Light Lime, the drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. Well, to put it simply, the Dodgers lead the D-backs 3-1 because of Orlando Hudson. With Ojeda at second and 2 out in the first inning, Orlando went into right field and made an over-the-shoulder diving catch. Otherwise, Ojeda scores. And in the fourth inning, with a runner at third, he makes that great catch of the ball hit behind second base. Otherwise, Montero scores. And without Hudson, the game is tied up. But it's 3-1 Dodgers. Fourth inning, and here is Russell Martin. Reached on the error by Wilson in the first inning. Strike. By the way, the Diamondbacks continue to frustrate themselves. They are 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Fouled away. 0 for 8. The 0 is for Orlando. Three to 1 Dodgers, fourth inning. Ball 1. Martin followed by Kemp and then Blake. Talking about a pitch count, Jeff Weaver has made 64. Broken bat, the second of the night for Martin, and this one is a line drive out to third. When Martin broke his bat in the first inning, he hit a ground ball to Wilson, who threw it away. This time he breaks the bat and lines to third. So 1 out in the fourth. Martin is left with a swizzle stick as he walks back to the dugout. And here's Matt Kemp to ground it out in the first inning. Big Matt hitting .295, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Ball 1. One and one. Scherzer gets the ball and pitches. He rarely wanders around. He's on the rubber right now, just waiting for Kemp to get back in there. One and one. 1 and 2. When Scherzer made his major league debut, it was against Houston last year. He pitched 4 1/3 perfect innings in relief against the Astros and struck out 7. It was the longest debut outing in modern major league history by a pitcher who retired every batter he faced. What a way to break in. 3-2. Not all been beer and Skittles for Scherzer. A couple of years ago, when he was still in school, he slammed a door on his hand, then missed time with tendonitis in his shoulder. That shoulder bothered him last year. And down goes Kemp. So 2 out, 4th inning. Casey Blake coming up. We have our CarMax text question tonight. Which of these rare fates would you most want to witness live? Would you rather see a triple play? Would you rather see a hitter hit for the cycle? Or would you rather see an inside the park home run? Text your answer 86212. Triple play, a cycle, or an inside the park home run. 4 strikeouts for Scherzer and 2 quick strikes on Casey Blake. Casey struck out in the 2nd inning. We were talking about Scherzer and his shoulder. Fouled away. For about a month last year, right shoulder inflammation. He missed 5 weeks. Then this spring he was injured, had a cortisone shot, and began the year on the DL with a stiff shoulder. But he's pitching very well. Dodgers 3, D-backs 1. And a drive to the gap. Late start for Upton, and he still can't make the catch. Upton had no jump. Now, where Andre Ethier certainly had an excuse, if he's going to give an excuse, it was, 10 minutes after 7. But now, overhead is black, and perhaps he lost it in the shirt sleeve crowd, but whatever. He made a routine fly ball, a tough play, and then tried to make a diving catch and came up with a glove full of empty. So the batter now is Weaver, ball 1. For the Dodgers, it'll go as a base hit, but that's really charitable. If you're Scherzer, you got to say to yourself, my goodness, got to be able to catch that ball. Wow. 2-0. Justin Upton diving at the ball. Scherzer saying, nice going. Oh, you didn't catch it. Oh, well, my God. I don't know what Upton's saying, but it's probably the same thing. 2-0 to count to Weaver. 2 out, Blake at first. So instead of starting the next inning with Weaver, he has to pitch to him now. Strike. 2-1. And the old story, over the course of a long ball game, little things do indeed mean a lot. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-2. The D-backs with 1 run. Do you remember all those things we told you about earlier? About the fact that Scherzer has gone 5 or more with 3 or less runs in 8 of his 11 starts in his career. Gone 5 or more with 2 or less runs, 5 of his 11 starts. And he has 2 or less runs for support in 10 of 11 starts. And they've given him all of 1 run tonight. 2-2. Shot up the middle. Turnabout is fair play. Scherzer singled between the legs of Weaver. Now Weaver singles by Scherzer. It didn't go through his legs, and Justin Upton is saying, if I'd only had a jump, a reasonable jump, any kind of a move, I stick that fly ball in my hip pocket. So instead, the Dodgers get another huge break. 2 on, 2 out, and here's Raphael. Struck out and lined to center. Fakal as a switch hitter, hitting .238 right, .263 left. Blake at second, Weaver at first with 2 out. 3-1 Dodgers, 4th inning. Ball 1. Max Scherzer, the young boy from the Show Me State of Missouri. Born in St. Louis, lives in Chesterfield, and went to the university. And a strike, 1-1. When the D-backs come up in the 5th inning, Ojeda, Jackson, and Tracy. 1-1. Foul back, 1-2. Raphael, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Casey Blake at second. Jeff Weaver at first with 2 out. Scherzer, who thought he would have been out of the inning 1-2-3, instead is facing his 5th hitter. Fastball grounded to Ojeda, and that'll be that. No runs, 2 hits. The Dodgers lead the 2, and at the end of 4, Dodgers 3 deep. CarMax, the way car buying should be. And by Corona and Corona Light, official sponsors of the Time Out. Relax responsibly. Fifth inning with the Dodgers leading 3-1. A point to make on that fly ball to right field when Justin Upton had no jump at all. Should have been a routine out, and instead he winds up diving at the ball, missing it. It goes for a base hit, and you say, well, that's okay. Fakal grounded out, the inning's over. But keep in mind, because that ball was not caught, Weaver and Fakal came up, and Max Scherzer had to make an additional 9 pitches. So Scherzer has now made 80 pitches. Weaver has made 64, and the Dodgers are going to watch him now as he works on Ojeda, Jackson, and Tracy. Of course, for Joe Torre, he would love to see Weaver get out of the inning with, let's say, 11 pitches. Then he would be eligible to pick up a victory. As a starter, as you know, he has to go 5 innings. Well, he's gone 4. Ojeda's having a big night. Double to right, single to right. 0-1. And ground ball to Loney. James will do it himself. And away. So Weaver now working on Connor Jackson, who has struck out and hit into a force play. Force play should have been a double play. Orlando Hudson just had one of those throws that got away, and Loney couldn't short hop it. Connor hitting 200. Boy, the Arizona batting averages are really shocking. Last in the National League, team batting average was 227. Right. And they sit there and stand Tony Clark, Chris Young, Justin Upton. Down 3-1 in the 5th inning. Fastball. 0-2 to Connor Jackson. Connor Jackson last year hit 300. The year before 284. The year before that 291. I mean, he has put up some good numbers, and here he is hitting 200 first week in May. Still 0-2. Connor's a big guy, 6'2", 225. Lives in Austin, Texas. His dad, John, a very successful actor. Oh, 0-2. Check swing foul. Weaver throwing hard, hit 91 on the gun. I think the velocity topped out so far at 92, and he just hit that once. Dodgers 3, D-backs 1 because of Orlando Hudson. Otherwise, it's at least 3-3. 1-2. Hudson making 2 incredible catches. One on Reynolds in right field. That stopped a run. And the other one behind second base that stopped another run. If he doesn't make those 2, it's 3-3. And a fly ball to shallow right. And Orlando wants them all. And Ethier says, "You're in my country." And the ball drops. Now the sky is black. And that was a routine fly ball for Ethier. And Orlando, maybe because he's playing against his old club, he wants everything. And he just went too far out there. Took the play away from Ethier. I mean, Andre just takes that easily. And of course, the fact that Orlando is waving, "I've got it," or "I have it," grammatically, but Ethier's not looking at Orlando. He's got his eyes riveted on the ball. He's hollering, "I got it," and he slapped it right out of Orlando's glove. Foul ball. So Jackson at first base. For Andre Ethier, he's a little frustrated. Not to mention Orlando Hudson. Down in the Dodger bullpen now because he's getting close to those 75. So Weaver ready to pitch, and Ramon Troncoso is warming up off the plate. It'll be an error, and I assume charge to Orlando Hudson. I've never really gotten it. No, they're going to give poor Ethier the error. Even though Hudson went way out and didn't have to go there, they're going to charge Ethier. Well, they have to charge somebody. Now that was the 75th pitch. So from now on, he's not on borrowed time. He's on borrowed pitches. And again, Jackson's fly ball should have been caught. And if he gets Tracy, he'll be forced to make extra pitches. 1-2. 2-2. So the Dodger bench, no, he's gone over the 75. 3-1 Dodgers, 5th inning, 1 out. Jackson at first. Two and two. And fouled away off to the left. So Chad Tracy out of Charlotte, North Carolina, went to school at East Carolina. I don't know what kind of numbers Tracy would have put up had he not had the bad knee. When he first came to the league, he could really swing that bat. Tracy's first year in the league, he hit 27, and people were saying, uh-oh, the sky's the limit for him. Then it went down to 20. Then it went down to 7 and 8. And he has 2 so far this year. 3-2. There goes Connor Jackson, and the ball is hit to left. Manny is there. Makes kind of a Willie Mays catch, and back to first goes Jackson. So Manny handles the drive to left, 2 down. But just as Scherzer had to work extra hard, 9 more pitches because of Blake's ball that was not handled by Upton. Now Weaver is working extra hard, and Wade, here comes Rick Honeycutt to talk to him. Weaver has gotten ahead with strike 1 to 17 of the 20 D-back hitters. Admittedly, 2 D-back hits came on the first pitch, and of course Orlando feels terrible. He's no doubt thinking, if I mind my business, the inning is over. Weaver has a chance to win it. And Honeycutt talking to him. We told you it looked like a 75 pitch limit. He has now made 79 pitches. Now the inning should be over. He should be sitting quietly in the dugout. Instead, he has to face a guy who is a feast or famine hitter. Mark Reynolds popped out to Orlando in right field and then struck out last time up. And a strike inside corner. And by the way, he still hit 90 on the gun. 0-1 to Mark. Reynolds, who went to school at the University of Virginia and played with Ryan Zimmerman, who'll be here tomorrow night with the Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman is certainly the face of the Washington Nationals, even though they gave him a uniform and misspelt the word national. Yeah, that actually happened. 1-1 to count to Mark Reynolds. Two and 1. So we told you that Scherzer had to make 9 additional pitches because of Upton. We'll see how many additional pitches Weaver has to make because of Hudson, who saved him twice and then messed up. There goes the runner. Missed at the plate. No throw by Russell. So a stolen base for Connor Jackson. Connor Jackson got a huge jump, and he is 5 for 5 in stolen bases. So the big left fielder and first baseman can run. 2-2 to Reynolds. just off the plate. So this is a big pitch. You have Upton, the hottest hitter on deck. Weaver obviously laboring a little bit, trying desperately to get the last out. 3-2 to Mark Reynolds. And Reynolds strikes out a second time, and Weaver has made it. Despite the error in right field, the Dodgers hold on, and at the end of 4.5 lead 3-1. Night, very Hispanic flavor to the game. Folks having a great time. Here's Orlando Hudson. Ball one. We mentioned the fact that Max Scherzer, because of Upton's misplay, had to make an additional 9 pitches. Jeff Weaver had to make an additional 6 because Orlando strayed that far out into right field. So for Jeff Weaver, he made 21 pitches and a total of 85, 10 more than the 75 we thought he was going to work on. And there's a hot dog. So Orlando trying to walk off that foul ball. 2-1 to count. Got him on the instep, and then it seemed to bounce up and hit the inside of his right knee. Two and one to count. The bunt down to get it is Scherzer. Throws him out. Now, was he playing possum or not? Fouls the ball off his foot and knee, walks around in obvious pain, and then tries to bunt for a base hit. One away. That'll bring up Manny. By the way, you know, in the 5th inning when they left Jackson at second base, the Diamondbacks are now 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Right. And the reason why the Dodgers are 11-0, the opponents, not just the D-backs, the opponents are 5 for 44 with runners in scoring position during the homestand. Wilson takes care of Manny. That means the opposition to the Dodgers in 11.5 games with runners in scoring position, they're hitting 114. Somewhat unbelievable. 2 down in the 5th, and here's Andre Ethier. Single to right and walk. drove in a run and scored a run. Though, as usual, Andre very busy. Scored a run, knocked in a run, charged with an error. 1-0. On deck, James Loney. And a drive to right center and deep. Back goes Young. Wall to make the catch. Wonderful play by Chris Young as Ethier robbed of a hit. And at the end of 5, Dodgers 3, D-backs 1. Out at Wrigley Field, Chicago. Was it blowing out? There were 9 home runs hit in the game. The Dodgers hit 7 of the 9 and proceeded to win the game 14-12. Well, they broke the record in 2002 when they went to Milwaukee. Let's go back to this one.
Just an update.
Dodgers leading 3-1, and Ramon Troncoso will now take over for Jeff Weaver, who made 85 pitches and goes out with a possible chance, having gone the required 5, of picking up a victory. So here is Troncoso, very good sinker ball pitcher with a great ERA of 1. Justin Upton singled and was thrown out trying to bunt. Right, 0-1. Might be wrong, but in watching the game as closely as we can, when Upton did not get a jump on that fly ball that dropped in off the bat of Casey Blake, you had to assume perhaps he was out there in right field thinking about the bunt and how close the play was at first. If you remember, he was nipped at first. He was annoyed. He threw his helmet into the dugout. And that happens especially to outfielders. 1-1. They have more time to think about it. Over the top. And a chopper to Furcal. He had to wait for a hop, but with his arm he can get away with it. And we have 1 out in the 6th. Okay, here's a look at how our CarMax text message voting is going so far. Remember, we asked, which of these rare feats would you most want to witness live? A triple play, a cycle, or an inside the park home run? Well, it's close. 44% of you say a cycle, 43% say inside the park home run, 13% triple play. Remember, you can text your answer 86212. It looks like this one's going to go right down to the wire. I guess the most exciting play in baseball is an inside the park home run with the bases loaded. 1-1. Montero has struck out, doubled to right, and would have scored in the 4th inning, except for the diving catch by Orlando Hudson on the grass behind second base on the ball hit by Scherzer. Hudson has saved at least 2 runs, and because of his all-out hustle, it's Dodgers 3, D-backs 1 instead of at least a 3-3 tie. Two and one. Hit down the line, but it's slicing as she goes foul. 2-2 to Miguel Montero. Catcher with his double has hit safely in 6 straight, and Chris Young on deck. Two and two. Change got him. Oh, what a great pitch. Little breaking ball in the 70s, and Montero, the deer in the headlights kind of look at it, just bent that thing in there. Strikeout number 1 for Troncoso. Jeff Weaver struck out a half a dozen. And a ball is loose, and Manny retrieves and flips it back into the stand out there in left field. Chris Young. Made a wonderful catch on the ball hit by Ethier in the 5th inning. And that slow breaking ball a strike. Boy, that's a shock. Not just to us, but how about to him? Of course, Chris has never been an average hitter. Hit .248 last year, .237. But he's been a power hitter. Hit as many as 32 home runs 2 years ago. That's a strike. 1-2. Chris was originally drafted by the White Sox. He wasn't even an everyday player for his high school team until his senior year. Check swing, pitch in the dirt. No swing, says Darryl Cousins. 2-2 the count. Chris 25, will be 26 in September. Interesting, and it happens to so many ball players. The White Sox scouts were going to look at another player when they found Chris Young. The other player, his name was Trey George. Never made it. Still 2-2. Dodgers lead 3-1. We're in the 6th. 2 out. Dodger bullpen has been absolutely magnificent, and the starting pitching at home, the earned run average for the starters 2.5. Two and two. Young has struck out, grounded to short, and hits another slow roller for call. Winds up, can't get the grip. The Raphael double clutches, can't make a play. So Young runs very well. It will go as a base hit. Raphael picks it, grips, double grips, and loses the play. So a little roller is a base hit, and with 2 out, the batter is Josh Wilson. Wilson fouled out to Casey Blake and walked. The Washington Nationals will be in here tomorrow night, and Clayton Kershaw, who was so brilliant against Jake Peavy, will go up against Daniel Cabrera. The last we heard, about Washington. They were really in a mess. Tell you in a moment. The Nationals and the Astros played 11 innings to a 10-10 tie. Wound up without a winner. The game was suspended by rain with the score tied in the bottom of the 11th, 10-10. It was scheduled to be a day game, so the Nationals could fly here to play tomorrow night. That's a strike. 10-10 in the 11th. Whoa. Ramon Troncoso with 2 out, Young at first. 0-1 to Josh Wilson. And there goes Young. The pitch is a strike. The throw on the wrong side for a tag. The Young steals it easily. So Furcal has trouble on a routine ground ball. Couldn't get a grip. Now all of a sudden the D-backs have a runner in scoring position. And again we remind you they are 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position as Young visits with a former teammate, Orlando Hudson. Oh, 0-2. One and two. Weaver went 5, allowed 1 run, 5 hits, had great control, walked 1, admittedly did have a wild pitch, and he struck out 6. And he got big help from Hudson. Fastball comebacker. And so the Diamondbacks are 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And at the end of 5.5 innings, Dodgers 3, D-backs 1. To 1 lead, bottom of the 6th inning. James Loney, Russell Martin, and then Matt Kemp against Max Scherzer. Maximilian. D-backs have left at least 1 man on in every inning. They've left 7 in their 6th inning. Strike to Loney, 0-1. Dodgers have left 4. Oh, 2 to James, hitting .276 with 18 runs batted in. Slice foul off third into the stands. No balls, 2 strikes. Max Scherzer, tough luck pitcher from Missouri. We had read about his tough luck. We told you about his tough luck, and we've been watching it. And a little flare, and Wilson is there. Maloney loops out, goes 0 for 3, and the batter will be Russell Martin. You know, the Dodgers are presenting Friday night fireworks all season long. The next event, Friday night, when the Giants are here, set to the music of 1959 to celebrate the Dodgers' first championship in Los Angeles. Compliments of Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream. Isn't that cool? Well, for tickets, call 866-DODGERS or visit Dodgers.com today. Whoops. Somebody pulled the rug right out from under Russell on a pitch at his feet. 1 ball and no strikes. And it's worth noting a second time, if you weren't with us earlier, Russell is celebrating his 3rd anniversary. It was on this day 3 years ago he was called up. He had a big game. Dodgers won 15 of the next 18 with him catching, and Deona Navarro, who was injured, never played a game for the Dodgers again. 2 out, 6th inning.
Number 27.
That's a little bit, just a little bit, like the Wally Pipp Lou Gehrig. Matt Kemp grounded out and struck out. Matt 0 for 2, hitting .292, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Scherzer is due to lead off in the 7th inning. Then Ojeda and Jackson. D-backs have gotten at least 1 man on base in every inning, and they've managed to score 1 thanks to a wild pitch. As we said, D-backs are 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position, so they haven't helped this young man out at all. 1-1. Look out. 2-1 the count to Matt Kemp. Two and two. Scherzer pretty much on the third base side of the rubber sometimes, especially with right-hand hitters. His left foot slightly in front of his right. 2 and 2. And Kemp, a drive to left, going back on the ball is Jackson. Wall to make the catch. So Kemp just misses. The Dodgers go in order. That's 7 in a row. And at the end of 6, 3-1 Dodgers. Is brought to you by Del Taco. Try the chicken soft taco, just 99 cents every day. And by the all-new 2010 Lexus RX, reinventing the vehicle that invented it all. Dodgers lead the D-backs 3-1, and the frustrated D-backs will now have Eric Burns come off the bench and bat for Max Scherzer. And if the D-backs are frustrated, imagine young Scherzer. They just can't buy him a run anytime he pitches. So UCLA is well represented as Eric Burns checks in. Burns hitting just 156. That's right, 156. And a ground foul, 0-2. Burns missed a good part of last year with bad hamstrings. When he was healthy the year before, he hit 286, 21 home runs, 50 RBIs, and he's finding it tough to come back. In the dirt, they'll check, no swing. Troncoso made 18 pitches in the 6th inning, so they're going to back him up with left-hander Will Ullman and right-hander Ronald Belisario. Troncoso made 23 pitches in the last game with San Diego. 2-2, Derek. Burns from Redwood City, lives in Woodside. As you probably know, went to school at UCLA. His dad was a karate master and tennis player, and his mom was a skier and a tennis player. And so naturally Eric began hitting tennis balls at a very early age. Little roller for call, but he gets a nice big one. Burns runs well, so the hamstring problem is history. Would have been tougher, but that ball came up nicely for Raphael. 1 away. So Max Scherzer trying to say to himself, well, just one of those things. But he pitched so well. And remember, the D-backs 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And had it not been for 2 splendid plays by Orlando Hudson, he'd at least be tied. So 1 away. And here's Augie Ojeda, 2 for 3. Shows bunt, ball 1. Augie went to school for a couple of seasons at Cypress College. He was an All-American there. Check swing for a strike. Then leaving Cypress, he went on to graduate from the University of Tennessee. Augie 5'8", 175. Wouldn't expect power, but he's a good hustling all-around player. Time. So Ramon Troncoso in relief of Jeff Weaver, who made 85 pitches, allowed 1 run. 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1 to count. Dodgers trying to make their record at home 12-0. That would tie the 1911 Detroit Tigers, who went 12-0. And line drive base hit, so Ojeda comes up with his 3rd hit. The schedule for the Dodgers starting tomorrow night with the Washington Nationals. That'll be Clayton Kershaw and Daniel Cabrera. Then Randy Wolf will go up against Jordan Zimmerman. And then the Giants come. Barry Zito and Chad Billingsley. All 3 on prime time. Would that be something if the Dodgers somehow or other wound up going undefeated and then the Giants come here? As if we need anything like that? Wow. Lincecum would be pitching on Sunday, Zito Friday, and I would assume if they follow the rotation they had in San Francisco, Jonathan Sanchez would pitch on Saturday. But meanwhile, let's concentrate 1 game at a time. Connor Jackson struck out, hit into a force play, and then hit the fly ball to right field when Orlando strayed way out. He and Ethier bumped together, and Ethier was charged with an error because Andre's glove hit Orlando's glove and knocked the ball out. Fastball fouled away. 1-1. Troncoso hits 90. Troncoso is due to bat second in the bottom of the seventh. Dodgers got a big lift tonight from Jeff Weaver. 1 ball, 1 strike. For the Dodgers, they're doing very, very well. And remember, without the services of Hiroki Kuroda. When Kuroda pitches is anybody's guess. That strained oblique. He did play catch, but he hadn't even tried to pitch. 2-1. Kuroda, if you remember last year, was 9-10 with a good ERA, a little more than 3, held the opposition to 250 batting average. So when they get him healthy, the staff gets even stronger. 2-1. Loney holding the corner on Ojeda. 1 out. 7th inning. 3-1 Dodgers. Ojeda 0 for 1 in stolen bases. And a fly ball to center. Matt Kemp is there. That'll be the second out. Ojeda holds on at first. So Connor Jackson goes 0 for 4. Another good hitter who just can't buy a hit. And the batter is Chad Tracy. Yeah, this game can be maddening. And now Joe Torre is heading for the mound. With Tracy, a left-hand hitter, coming up, you assume Will Ullman's been throwing in the pen for just that purpose. So 2 down. Ojeda at first. Here comes Will Ullman. And we'll be back. Your Toyota dealers. Toyota, moving forward. And by Carl's Jr. Without us, some guys would starve. Dodgers trying to hold on to a 3-1 lead here in the 7th inning with 1 on and 2 out. And Will Ullman is brought in now to pitch to Chad Tracy. Tracy struck out, popped up, flied out. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Tracy came into the game hitting .236. 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. And a bouncer over the mound for a call. Scoops, throws on the run, gets him, and that's the inning. No run, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end is 6.5, 3-1 Dodgers, and the crowd will now. To 1 lead, and Juan Gutierrez comes out of the bullpen to pick up for hard luck Max Scherzer. Gutierrez is from Venezuela and was originally signed by the Astros. Came up for a so-called cup of coffee 2 years ago with Houston. And the first hitter will be Casey Blake. Juan Pierre will then bat for Will Oman, and then Rafael Furcal. Blake has struck out and singled. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Max Scherzer again gets only 1 run to work with. and it's not enough. 1-2 to Casey Blake. Casey's single to right was just a fly ball where Upton had no jump. Should have been an easy catch. He'll take it. Chasing that high fastball, and down goes Casey. So Juan Pierre now will come up and bat for Ullman, who was called in to get Tracy and got him. Juan Pierre hitting .379 and coming off the bench, however, just 2 for 10. Pierre has started only 5 times. Ground ball to short. Wilson is up with it, throws him out. So quickly 2 down here in the 7th. Dodgers have not done much. In fact, the last 9 have gone down in order, and in the bullpen, Belisario is warming up. So Ronald getting ready, and for call, 0 for 3 checking in at the plate. One ball and no strikes. Gutierrez, 25. He'll be 26 the middle of July. Fastball, curveball, pretty good slider, and a changeup. Diamond bend. They traded away Jose Valverde to the Astros. They got Qualls, Burke, and Gutierrez. That's a strike. 2-1. Foul back. 2-2 the count. Rafael struck out, lined out, grounded out. Dodgers 3 runs, only 4 hits. The D-backs 1 run, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Fastball hit to right field. Upton got a jump on this one. So the Dodgers go quietly. That's 10 in a row. And at the end of 7, lead the D-backs 3-1. Which of these rare feats would you most want to witness live? A triple play, a cycle, or an inside the park home run? 46% of you said the inside the park home run. And the fellas did some research, because I was talking about an inside the park home run with the bases loaded. Well, here are the rare feats. Look at all the triple plays and the cycles and the no-hitters, perfectos and unassisted triple plays. And the other note they looked up was on the inside the park home run with the bases loaded. And since 1950 there have been 40, and since 1990 only 8. Yeah, that's like watching a merry-go-round go off its bearings. 0-2 the count to Mark Reynolds, and Ronald Belisario, the 4th Dodger pitcher. 1-2. So baseball in the big leagues has certainly become a battle of the bullpen, and the Dodger bullpen has been magnificent. Whoa. Wow, did that get him? I think it did. Yep. Got him on the hand. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. How'd you like to shake that off? Up in there. So Mark Reynolds hit by the fastball, and you certainly hope. The hand is such a delicate thing, so complicated. Well, Reynolds appears to be okay. And now the batter is Justin Upton, the hottest of the D-backs, singled out on a close play bunting, grounded to short. Ball 1. So right away the D-backs have the tying run at the plate. Justin Upton, who has really been on a tear, has 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in. He has hit safely in 12 straight, and during the streak hitting close to 380. Reynolds at first, and a fly ball down the left field line, hooking foul back into the stands. It was a broken bat, or actually a cracked bat. So the ball was pretty dead even leaving home plate. So Upton will get another stick. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. So Upton coming back up. 1 for 3. His brother B.J. Upton talking about Justin's temper. They were little kids, and B.J. woke Justin up from his nap. Justin wound up and gave his older brother a bloody nose. Whammo. Don't mess with me when I'm sleeping. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Dodgers certainly don't want to wake him up now. 1 swing and he gets the D-backs even. One and 2. Upton will be 22 the end of August. What a future. Now back. Last year Upton had 15 home runs, 42 runs batted in. He's just going to get better. He's already big enough. He's 6'2", 200-pounder. There goes the runner, and a little flare foul. It'll drop untouched. Wasn't high enough for Loney to get under it. So 1-2 the count with Reynolds going. Reynolds has stolen 2 out of 3. Bob Melvin trying to shake up the D-backs, trying to force something to happen. They've left 8 in 7 innings, at least 1 in every inning. 1-2, and again they're after Reynolds. Fastball got him outside corner. Down he goes. So Justin Upton strikes out for the first time. And it looked like Martin kind of pulled that thing over the plate. Justin looked like a hitter looking for help, but there wasn't much Chip Hale could do, the third base coach. 1 out. Chip Hale once was a Dodger. In fact, the Arizona coaches have a definite Dodger flavor. Chip Hale played very briefly, but he did play with the Dodgers in 1997. And over at first, Lorenzo Bundy spent 2 years managing the Dodgers Las Vegas club. And of course, forever a Dodger down in the dugout, Kirk Gibson. Can't get much more Dodger than that. 2-0 the count to Miguel Montero. Struck out, double, struck out again. Two and one. Dodgers 3 runs on only 4 hits. 1 error. D-backs 1 run, 7 hits, 2 errors. We have the paid attendance night, a little bit bigger than last night. Last night we had 30,530. Tonight we have 33,557. And remember, the Washington Nationals will be here tomorrow night and Thursday night, and the Giants on the weekend. And down goes Montero. So after Reynolds is hit by a pitch, Upton and Montero strike out. That'd be 9 D-backs to bite the dust tonight. And the batter is Chris Young. He struck out, grounded out, infield single. Bob Melvin, who went to Cal, just gritting his teeth. Remember, the D-backs started last year 20-8. They were 5.5 in front in a blink of the eye, and yet they came up more than a buck short. This year they had that great advantage in the schedule, 18 of the first 21 at home, and they did not take advantage of it at all. They're 8-10 at home. Strike 1 to Chris Young. Top of the order, Augie Ojeda has 3 hits, and yet he has only gotten to second base once. Reynolds at first, 2 out, and there he goes. What a jump he had. Not even a throw. That was not indifference. He took off, in that big windup by Belisario. I think Ronald forgot all about him. Raised that left leg as if the bases were empty. Now remember, Arizona's 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. So now they have another opportunity. We're in the 8th, 3-1 Dodgers. Weaver, Troncoso, Ullman, and Belisario. Off the plate. So Reynolds waiting for a ride home. 2-2 to Chris Young. Got it. So the side strikes out. And the D-backs are now 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. And at the end of 7 1/2, 3-1 Dodgers. Certainly the theme song for the homestand is Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. And it really shakes up the crowd. Dodgers trying for their 12th win without a loss at home. Belisario made 20 pitches in the 8th inning, but he struck out the side. Orlando double grounded out, thrown out trying to bunt, made 2 spectacular catches to cut the D-backs from scoring runs. Not been for Orlando, this could be a tied up game. Foul ball, 1-2 the count. Hudson as a switch hitter, very consistent, came in hitting .337 left, .333 right. Looking ahead for the 9th inning, we'll tell you about the possibles for Arizona. Foul back. Josh Wilson, the shortstop, is due out. Then Gutierrez, and they have Felipe Lopez, a switch hitter, Robertson, Snyder, right-hand batters, and Broxton down in the pen. Tony Clark is a switch hitter. So one of those would hit for Gutierrez. Whoa, good breaking ball, a slider to wrap up Hudson. Big pitch by Gutierrez. One away. Thing just dips. So with one away, here's Manning. Ramirez walked intentionally and scored a run in the 1st inning. Grounded to 3rd, grounded to short, so he's 0 for 2 tonight, hitting .352. Ball 1. Breaking ball, a mile-high fly ball, but it's playable. You talk about an aspirin up there in the blackness of the night, and Connor Jackson's at the other end of it. So 2 down. Andre Ethier coming up. You know, you can create your own Dodgers collectible using your favorite photos at the photo store on Dodgers.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own Dodger memory. So go to Dodgers.com today. Well, Bob Melvin will take the ball away from Gutierrez. With Ethier coming up, he'll bring in a left-hander from the pen, and we'll be back. So it's been Scherzer, Gutierrez, and Schoenweiss. And by the way, Arizona's pitching has been wonderful, limiting the Dodgers to 4 hits, and they've retired the last 12 in a row. The last base hit the Dodgers had was Jeff Weaver's single back in the 4th inning. So Schoenweiss will be 36 in October. Came up to the Angels 10 years ago. He went to school at Duke University. From the Angels to the White Sox to the Blue Jays to the Reds to the Mets, and here he is. And his ducks are very much in a row because he knows all about physical adversity, and he has fought his way back. Andre Ethier hitting .320 and lifts a fastball, and going the wrong way on it was Chris Young. Wow. I think the outfielders are daydreaming. I mean, I think the Arizona Diamondbacks have so much on their minds that they're just not playing the outfield. Justin Upton had no excuse, and the ball dropped in front of him, I think because he was probably thinking about the bunt. And Chris Young, no jump at all. In fact, he started back. And how's Young doing? Well, he struck out twice tonight, including with a runner at second base. So it's a human thing to do, and the Dodgers are getting big breaks. The fly ball is now a base hit for Ethier, and he winds up going 2 for 3. And here is Loney. Interesting, too, the one ball that Ethier really ripped was caught by Young going up against the center field fence. So Chris can do it, and sometimes he can't. 1 ball and no strikes. Infielders really don't have much time to gather wool, but outfielders, oh yeah. Loney has grounded out twice and looped out to short, 0 for 3. And he lifts one to shallow left. Connor Jackson coming up and backhands it. So the Dodgers get a fly ball single, and that's it. And at the end of 8, Dodgers 3, D-backs. Away from having a home record of 12-0. They are 3 outs away from tying the 1911 Detroit Tigers. Standing in the way of Joe Torre and company will be Josh Wilson, Ryan Roberts, and then Augie Ojeda. Felipe Lopez, a switch hitter, is also a possible, and Roberts will start off hitting for Wilson against Jonathan Broxton. Broxton last night came in, made 12 pitches, and struck out the side, getting Messrs. Upton, Roberts, and because Montero grounded out, so he struck out 2 of the 3. All right, Ryan Roberts will try his luck a second time with Felipe Lopez on deck. Roberts, the second pinch hitter. Eric Burns grounded out in the 7th inning, and that's ball 1. For Jonathan Broxton, his numbers are really remarkable. 23 strikeouts, only 4 walks, an earned run average of .6. 13 innings, he's allowed just 2 hits and 1 run. So with 7 saves, going for number 8. 1-0 to Roberts. And a strike. Ryan 0 for 1 last night. Hasn't played at all. He's 0 for 2 on the road trip. And a strike. So Roberts, who doesn't play at all, facing Broxton, and Ryan last night struck out. Made a start in San Francisco. Before that, 2 years. His other start. 2-2. Ryan Roberts out of Fort Worth, Texas, battling Big John. Two and two. Time. Another beach ball in center field. Matt Campbell have to retrieve it. Ryan Roberts, originally signed by the Blue Jays, came up with the Jays, then played 1 game with the Rangers, and then moved over to the D-backs. 28 years old, big man on campus at the university. A lot of tattoos, they say, on his body. Check. See you later. So that's 4 strikeouts in a row. Upton, Montero, and Young with Belisario. And now Roberts goes down looking on that breaking ball, and it's a strikeout for Broxton. So 1 out, and the switch hitter Felipe Lopez coming up, and all Bob Melvin can do is send him up there. Lopez last night was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He had a little 4-game hitting streak go down the drain. So Felipe is also the 3rd pinch hitter used by Arizona. You really have to feel badly for Max Scherzer. He went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs. 0-1. Scherzer has gone 5 or more innings with 3 runs or less in 9 of his career 12 starts. For whatever reason, they just don't score for him. 1-1. Line foul off the facade of the 2nd level down into the stands. 1-2 to Felipe. On the road trip, 6 for 20 with a home run. Dodgers scored 3 in the 1st inning and really haven't been heard from again. Lopez from Puerto Rico. 1st round pick by Toronto. 2-1. After the Blue Jays, he played 4 years with the Reds, 3 with the Nationals, 1 with the Cardinals, and now here he is with the D-backs battling Broxton. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the 9th. 3-1 Dodgers. With 2 strikes on the hitter, the D-backs are 2 for 18 tonight. 3-2. With 2 strikes on the D-back hitters tonight, they have just 2 singles. Waiting on deck, Augie Ojeda, who had 3 hits, 1 a double, and they've never been able to even advance him to third. Three and 2 to Felipe Lopez. Fouled away. Lopez, a switch hitter and very consistent, hitting .318 left, .314 right. Lopez 0 for 5 in the past against Broxton. 3-2. That's 5 consecutive D-backs to strike out. Messrs. Upton, Montero, Young, Roberts, and now Lopez. Bad ball, down he goes. So Broxton now, with his amazing numbers, he now has 25 strikeouts and 4 walks. Crowd of 33,000 on their feet. The Dodgers are 1 out away from tying the all-time mark of 12-0, the Tigers of 1911. And here's little Augie. And a strike. Ojeda double to right in the first inning, single to right in the third, grounded out, and single to center. The D-backs failed to get him around. 0-1. And a little roller to Hudson. Will do that. The Dodgers go into the history books. They have won, and their home record is 12 in a row, tying a record that was set way back in 1911. The D-backs now, early in May,